A good habit to get into when it is concerned with urls.py is to keep all of your app-related URLs inside of that app. So we see this with admin. By default, admin as well as accounts has it already set up inside of admin.site.urls or registration.backends.urls. This is a way to keep each app self-contained and really good at what it does. So for us, we're going to do the same thing with products. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this one line on accounts, and I'm going to add products in here. And make sure that it has no $sign at the end here, because if you add a $sign, it's a signifying to the regular expression that that string is done. I'll explain a little bit more about that in just a moment, but now let's go ahead and say include, and we want it to be products, and it's just going to be products.urls. So this is going to say, look into some module called products, and then in that module, look for a file called urls.py or another module called urls.py. So that means we need to create one. Before I do, I'm going to copy everything from the in bracket for the URLs patterns all the way up to the top, and then go into products, and we're going to save a new file in here called urls.py, and we're going to paste this in. So now we have that new products URL. And I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff, everything inside of it, because we don't need any of those. Actually, we'll leave one for reference, and we'll just comment it out. All right, so we've got that. So now that we have this, we need to actually create a URL pattern specifically for our two views. I'm going to have two views just to show you the difference between the two. All right, so we have to first off, look at how regular expressions work inside of these URLs, or at least common regular expressions for Django URLs. Now this is on our GitHub, so github/codingforentrepreneurs.com or github.com/codingforentrepreneurs. This you'll find in our guides, and you'll be able to see the different patterns that we have. Now it's slightly different. It has a different syntax on writing patterns, and you can do that exact same syntax here. But really, the main part is how the URLs are set up on each line. So this is a regular expression. So this regular expression means a pattern that the URL actually hooks up to. Regular expressions work for all types of things, not just URLs, but in this case, it's literally for the pattern of the URL, which we're going to see in action here. So I'm going to look for the URL one that's related specifically to an ID or an object ID, as we see here. If you scroll down, you see the regular expression. This is it right here. And then parameters that come through, and then a particular view. So in this case, we are going to go ahead and copy this. And I'm going to bring it in here. And I'll say URL, and then R. And we use the caret, and then the actual regular expression item that we bring in. And then we will also put the view that we want it to go to. So in this case, it's products/view, and we said product underscore detail is the name of that view. And then we'll give it a name of product detail function. And we'll just add a comma at the very end. And again, let's make sure product detail is the name of the view. And it's actually not, it's product detail underscore view function. So we'll put that in here. And I'm going to change this order. So the order right here is actually the keyword argument that's going to go into the view itself. Right, so this says ID, so we need to name this ID. If I wanted it to stay as order, you would say order here. But I'm going to keep it as ID because it's a keyword argument, so we leave it in as ID as well. All right, so now that we've got this, let's actually take a look at what's going to happen if we go here. So we have our products URL signed up. Let's go back into our project, and we'll go to products/1. And it says template does not exist. Okay, that's a good sign. If I did products 0, it's going to say page not found. If I did products 1 whatever, it's going to say product matching query does not exist. Good. So that's what we kind of want to see. Now, what's going on here? The regular expression, or the URL, is going to look through every pattern that matches what's currently being requested. So in this case, I'm requesting just products/. There's nothing for products/. The next closest thing would be the ID. It tries that, but it doesn't have an ID here. There's no argument here. So if I added a 12, then it actually matches the pattern, but it doesn't find the object. And that's true with about. So if I change this to about, it's going to get us there. Cool. So now that we've got that, we have this ability to see this ID, which is cool. That's a good way to see it. I'm not going to worry about the template yet, but now let's actually look at our class-based view and see how much easier it can be to use class-based views. So we're going to import this into our URLs for products. So inside here, we'll do from.views, import product detail view. I'm going to copy this same URL, except I'm just going to add CBV / so class-based view, just specifically for purpose of example. And then I'm going to cut this and replace, or excuse me, not cut this, but copy this and replace this line, so the function-based view here, and we're going to place it .as view. So this is a function that allows us to actually turn a class-based view into a function-based view. So that's what that does right there. And I'm going to just say product detail is now the name of this URL. So if we refresh in here and I do CBV and then I do /1, which is the ID of the actual one itself, this is saying generic detail view needs to be either object PK or slug. So that means our keyword argument here is wrong. So let's do PK here and we refresh, and now it gives us that same template does not exist problem. Okay, so what just happened? We created two URLs that are essentially doing the same thing. We're not going to understand that until we actually implement the template file, but these two views are doing virtually the same function, except the product detail view, if I go back in here and change it to an item that does not exist, it raises a page 404, where the other one did not. If I just did some other number, it's just going to say it raises an exception. And that has everything to do with how I designed this view itself. But as you can see, the class-based views or the detail view are a lot easier to just right away put into action and get working. All right, so we're going to continue on the next one with actually adding in our template and then even making these even closer resembled so you can see the difference between the two. And then we will continue on to the next one. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, let's keep going.